Hello. I'm making this video because I've been really called to do so, and the calling won't go away, so thought I might teach. Usually I don't like to teach, but I like to here and there. If the right people are gonna get it, which I know it will, so I don't mind. But the main topic I wanted to discuss was how to know the creator and how to differentiate between distorted teachings and the true teachings. Now, with knowing the creator, you have to know that they don't need anything. They are everything. Everything comes from them, and consciousness itself is them. So, when we know all these factors, it gets easy to discern certain beliefs and agendas out there. To try to justify the creator is not possible. So one of my favorite ways to is just to say the unfathomable, the unknowable, because it's true. It's unknowable. You can't understand it completely, and it's everything. It's not just one thing. It's literally everything at once. So one common thing that I hear a lot of people, and this even comes from people that I know have a lot of knowledge and wisdom, but I suppose this understanding is a bit deeper and harder to transcend for them, I suppose. There's a lot of discussion about Goddess Kali, Ma Kali, the Divine Mother, which is known in Hindu traditions and very well known around the world, and Lord Shiva as well, also in the Hindu tradition and mythology, I guess you could say. But at the end of the day, these are just energies and beings that you can connect to for energetic purposes. Now, Goddess Durga, actually, people, they see Ma Kali and they're like, oh, demonic. She has skulls all over her. She's dripping blood. She's drinking blood. She has demonic features. She looks scary. Of course it's demonic. Who are you fooling? She has skulls all over. Okay, well, tell me you don't know anything about symbolism and the actual culture without telling me you don't know anything about the symbolism or culture. First off, if you want to criticize Ma Kali, that is a specific form of the Divine Mother, which represents uncontained primordial energy, nature itself, the force that drives everything. Nature is unforgiving. Are you going to be mad at the lion for having to eat? No, that's nature. That's your true form. That's natural primal energy. The lower energies, these things are, you have to know it. You can't, and actually, before we even get into more about Ma Kali, before you even try to understand these concepts, you need to have done the inner work, inner shadow work, inner healing. If you have not dealt with these traumas, these biases, these beliefs, you're not going to be able to grasp the vastness of these complicated ideas. They are designed so that one that doesn't truly know will not understand. That is literally what they were designed for. They keep it pure, they keep it true with these tactics. So, if you haven't done the shadow work, if you haven't managed the ego in a way to where it's not controlling you, don't even attempt to understand these other type of energies and truths. If you haven't done it, it's just not possible. You must know thyself before you can know anything else, which is also thyself. But to truly get to who you are, you need to remove those obstacles and conditions. Without that, you're not truly knowing yourself. You're knowing projections. You're not really knowing who you are as a soul. So, back to my Kali, right? Oh, she's demonic. She carries skulls and is dripping blood, and she looks so scary. And okay, well, here's another aspect of her that people don't understand. From the Bible, the phrase, be not afraid, right? They're talking about the angels. When they see the angels, they're scared and petrified. Why? Because they're not human. They're not bound by our rules. They don't operate the same way that we do. They're on a whole nother dimension. And they look scary. And you know why they look scary? To actually scare away the bad people and energy. Angels aren't cute and cuddly, and no, they're divine warriors that protect energies and realms. They don't look like little baby humans. I'm sorry, that's not accurate. Yes, there are different types of angels, but for the most part, if you want to know something true, before saying it's demonic, ask yourself why it looks like that. It looks like that to scare other evils away. They don't want the smoke. That's true, the divine sword. That's what it represents. Even Archangel Michael, that aspect, he's a warrior. That's what it represents. So, first off, that's why she looks scary. Another aspect, and we're not even going to get to all the aspects because there's so many hidden within the art, the story. We could be here all day. There's infinite things you can get out of these simple, seemingly simple things. But secondly, let's talk about the skulls and the heads and how she cuts off a dude's head, right? We have to know what ego is. Now, when I say ego, I'm talking about spiritual ego, the lower nature of our humanity, the reptilian brain part of our psyche. Reptilian brain, I mean like hunger, sex, fear, desire, all that, those kind of lower vibrational energies. That's what I mean by reptilian brain. We all have this side of us, and it's up to us to put it in check. I'm not gonna say kill, but it's to put it in check, to weaken it over time, which in time will result in an ego death. But I only say this like this because the ego is really not the enemy, but it should not control us. That's for sure. The ego in a lot of ways is helpful. It can show us where we need more work. Which again, this is what the Kali was literally created for. That's why she looks like that. If you look at her and you're scared, that's something you need to work on. There are things telling you, hey, there's something there. I'm scared of it. Why? These are all invitations to look inward. But back to the heads. Cutting off the head represents removing the ego and operating from the soul, not from the ego. You're cutting the head off. So what does that look like? I guess a good example would be going to church because you want to look cool and you want to join the crowd. That's all ego driven. It's not coming from within. It's a survival thing. But if you want to go to church to meet people, to actually experience the creator, to learn, that's a whole different energy that's coming from the soul. That's a desire of the soul, not of the ego. The ego, it pretends to be it's a master of deception. It'll hide within your own mind to where you think that it's you, but it's really not. So that's one of the importance of meditation, because without meditation, it's very, very difficult to determine what the ego and what is you, because it's a master of disguise. Oftentimes in the spiritual community, there's individuals that have developed a spiritual ego, and that's a dangerous thing. It's pretending to be enlightened, it's pretending to be high vibrational, but it's honestly keeping them in a lower state, unfortunately. So it's very important to be authentic and honest with yourself at all times. Which, again, my Kali, this is why she is portrayed this way. It's to get rid of the BS, it's to get rid of the fake. Another aspect of her, the blood. Okay, so you want to ask, okay, well, why is she drinking blood? Isn't that a demonic sacrifice or something? Yeah, that is probably the furthest from the truth. The actual story of Ma Kali goes, and I'm not going to get into the details, but this is generally how it is. She was basically called because there was a demon causing a ruckus. One of his conditions for his power was he cannot be destroyed by a woman. Get that? Because he thought women were the weakest thing, so a woman would never kill me. That's what he thought. So that's one of the reasons why they called Ma Kali, or really Goddess Durga. And okay, so when she got there to fight this demon, right? She noticed every time she cut off his head and made him bleed, every time a drop of his blood touched the earth, a new form of him at full power emerged. Honestly, this demon in itself is kind of a metaphor for desires. You do this here, then you're gonna want more over there. You do this here, and you're just never gonna be satisfied. So that's kind of a metaphor within itself. But yeah, once Ma Kali figured that out, how else would you defeat the demon other than to consume the blood? It can't fall on the ground. She had to drink it. Now, this is also a metaphor for saying unconditional love is basically that mother love is unstoppable. A mother she would do anything to provide for her child, and to go to such extreme lengths, such as to drink the blood of a demon, that kind of shows the love that she has. So again, these are things that it takes deeper reflection to understand. You're not just gonna, oh, I look up what is Hinduism and I understand it. No. You need to understand different aspects of spirituality to understand the whole picture. It's not that basic. Okay, I guess we can move on to Lord Shiva. People want to say, oh, he's the god of destruction. How is that good? Well, I don't know about you, but the governments and the things that control the world, they don't really seem to have humans' best interest at heart. So we kind of need to change something about that. I mean, I'm just asking, would you rather just let them do this, or do you think something needs to change? I'm probably leaning towards something needs to change, which Lord Shiva represents. Change, it's not necessarily destroying things, but it's cleaning away unneeded things, cleaning away these illusions we've created within ourselves, so that divinity can fill our vessel. We must get rid of what is old to welcome what is new. This is the essence of Lord Shiva. He is not a demonic destroyer. Like, come on, dude. Like, that is so surface level and basic. You have to understand these things without ego. Ego is gonna try to trick you. Oh, look, he's a destroyer. He's demonic. Look at Kali. She's drinking blood. She's cutting off heads. Come on. They know what they're doing, man. Like, you just have to let go of that. Like, as soon as you go within and let that go, the whole world opens up for you. You can't just live in a box. You can't categorize things in a box. It doesn't work like that. If you categorize things in a box, then you think that the creator is limited. That's by definition what you're saying. This even relates to what the Messiah would say, or Yeshua, the Christ. He would say things like, I exist from the undivided. When I become divided, I become filled with darkness. That's a quote from the Gospels of St. Thomas. Meaning, when I try to categorize things in a box, I'm only seeing that for what I'm seeing, not for what it is. I'm apart from the whole. The light is not able to get filled because I am separate. You can't see things from a box and a label perspective. It doesn't work like that. These things are formless. You can't put a name on the energy. It doesn't work like that. Remember, that's what they mean by keep an open mind. It's not gonna work if your ego won't let you look deeper. You're not gonna grasp it. It's far vaster than you can at first glance realize. But yeah, I hope this clears up some things. I'm not really trying to debate or anything, but if you needed to hear this, here you go. Sure, I know it'll find you. Just remember, you can't just judge a book by its cover. You can't do these things. It's good to have awareness and discernment, yes. But once you truly understand yourself, you begin to understand everything else. And meditation is how you do that. I will be making a video about meditation and the aspects that go into it. But for now, remain in power, remember who you are, and keep on living.